Good evening and welcome into game number 2 as we welcome you back into the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Side-by-Sides. This is the J&J Truck and Auto Body pregame show presented by J&J Truck and Auto Body. For the highest quality work and hassle-free customer service, let J&J take away your stress. They will work with your insurance company and get your vehicle back on the road. That's J&J Truck and Auto Body on East Philadelphia Street in Rapid City. Game 2 of this two-game doubleheader on this Saturday afternoon into the evening. A gorgeous night here in Rapid City, and the Hardhats improved to 4-5 on the season with the victory in Game 1, 8-3 over Post 17. Post 17, 3-3 entering play, fall to 3-4 on their young season as we are set to begin game number 2. Hardhats will send Wyatt Anderson to the mound in game number 2, and Kyle Karst gets the start for Watertown Post 17 in game number 2. Game 2's keys to the game are brought to you by Dakota Discount RV. Find the key to building lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. Take a look at their great selection of RVs at 2 locations. Dakota Discount RV is across from Cabela's and also on JB Road in Blackhawk. Key to the game for game number 2 will be starting early. Both teams kind of a slow start in game number 1, and the Hardhats looking to start a little quicker in game number 2. They didn't have a hit until the 3rd inning in game 1 and went down in order in there after the first. I haven't said that much this season, so looking to get production out of the top of the lineup. The same 3 in that top of the lineup for the Hardhats, Farley, Saylor, and Henney to start things off. And we will see them to the bats in the bottom of the first. So starting early against Kyle Karst will be key for game number 2. Today's starting lineups for game number 2 are built by Connect Home Center. Whether it's residential or commercial, Connect Home Center has been your hometown lumberyard since 1928. For Watertown Post 17, across the state into the northeast region of South Dakota, it's Ryan Roby, the center fielder, who leads things off. Marcus Rabine, the third baseman, bats second. Braden Zog, the first baseman, bats third. Ben Altoff, the designated hitter, bats in the cleanup spot. Jared Cyrus bats fifth. He's in right field defensively. Caleb Nygaard, the second baseman, bats sixth. The catcher is Carson Muchler. He bats seventh. And getting the start here in game number 2, Will Engstrom, the shortstop, bats 8th, and Trevin Rodden bats 9th for Post 17. Rodden in left field defensively for the purple and gold. And they face Wyatt Anderson on the mound for the Hardhats. On the other side, head coach Kelvin Torvey sends Zeke Farley to the plate first. He's in center field defensively. Amarian Saylor, the second baseman, bats second. Rector Henney does the designated hitting. He bats third, followed by Alex Dietrich in the cleanup spot. Excuse me, at first base. Harrison Good in right field bats fifth. Peyton Tipton, the third baseman, sixth. Jake Solano does the catching. He bats seventh. Jed Jensen making in the start in game number 2. He bats eighth and plays left field. And Wilson Kiefer, the shortstop, bats ninth for the Post 22 Hardhats right here in Rapid City. And they will face Kyle Karst on the mound. Today's starting pitchers, their numbers, starting with Wyatt Anderson. We will see him first here in game number 2 as the Hardhats will take the field first. On the season, his pitching numbers 2 games, 2 starts. This is his 3rd game and start of the season. 7 innings over those 2 starts for Wyatt Anderson. 5 hits, 5 runs, only 4 earned. 7 strikeouts to 5 walks. 1 hit batter and a 4 ERA for Wyatt. His last outing came against the Billings Royals in Game 1 over in Billings, Montana. He went 4 innings in that start, allowed 2 runs, only 1 earned run on 3 hits, struck out 4 and 1 walk. Also hit 1 batter in that appearance against the Billings Royals. A 1.75 ERA for Wyatt over in Billings. On the other side, Kyle Karst making the start for Post 17, and this is his 2nd appearance and start of the season. An 0-1 record for Karst. He went 6 innings over his 1 appearance. Allowed 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1 hit batter as well, and a 1.17 ERA. Opponents hitting .261 against him in that 1 appearance on the season. Game 2 of the 4-game set here in Rapid City. Of course, Watertown making the cross-state trip this season after the Hardhats faced Watertown at their ballpark last season with Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark under construction yet to start the season, as the Hardhats made several East River road trips last season, and Watertown took 3 out of 4 against the Hardhats last season, and the Hardhats looking to improve on their 1 win already against Watertown. Once again, a 4-5 record entering game number 2. Lineups being announced on the field for this night set. A nice crowd on hand here at the ballpark. A gorgeous evening for baseball. No breeze, 59 degrees. And we'll have our national anthem, and then we are set for baseball here in game 2. So we'll take a quick step aside and come right back right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
Tonight's umpire is the home plate umpire is Mr. Yogi Nosago. The field umpire is Mr. Dan Getter. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we honor America.
It'll be at least 2 minutes.
the field, your Hardhats.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and side-by-side. Hardhats take the field, and this is the conclusion of the J&J Truck and Auto Body pregame show presented by J&J Truck and Auto Body. Just about set for game two. Hardhats taking the field once again in their Navy throwback uniforms, and just about set to face post 17 from Watertown. Once again, Wyatt Anderson takes the hill for the post 22 Hardhats. He faces Ryan Roby, the center fielder, Marcus Rabine, the third baseman, Braden Zog, the first baseman, Ben Altoff, the designated hitter. Jared Cyrus bats fifth. He's in right field. Caleb Nygaard, the second baseman, sixth. Carson Muchler, the catcher, bats seventh. Will Engstrom, the shortstop, eighth. And Trevin Rodden, the left fielder, bats ninth. For post 17 out of Watertown. Anderson, a right-hander on the mound, will work solely out of the stretch position, set up on the far first base side of the rubber. Hardhats ready to throw down. Jake Solano behind the plate. Hardhats defense behind Wyatt Anderson. Left to right in the outfield, Jed Jensen making the start in left field. Zeke Farley in center field. Harrison Good in right field. On the infield, Peyton Tipton at third. Wilson Kiefer, the shortstop. Amarian Saylor, the second baseman. And Alex Dietrich, the first baseman. And Jake Solano doing the catching for the Hardhats. Anderson looks to be ready. Ceremonial tap of the Hardhats all around Wyatt Anderson. And the first batter, Ryan Roby, to step in on the right side. Roby in game one, 1 for 3, reached base twice, a single and a walk in his first and last at-bats. Bouncer to short and a fly out to short in between those two. First pitch from Wyatt Anderson, and Roby squared the bunt, pulled back and watches ball one miss outside. As we are underway at 7:37 local Mountain Time. And the 1-0, a called strike, fastball from Anderson. Even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Much more baseball-like weather here in Rapid City. Roby pops a bunt over the screen and into the crowd. Up and out of play. A ball and 2 strikes to count on Roby. This is a Watertown club that is known to play good small ball. Got a couple of runners on early in the first inning with nobody out. Unsuccessful though. The 1-2, strike 3 called, outside edge, and Wyatt Anderson starts off his outing on the mound with a backwards K next to Ryan Roby. And that'll bring up Marcus Rabine. Third baseman steps in on the left side. Anderson, as mentioned, working solely out of the stretch, and a called strike 1. Fastball across the knees on Rabine. 0-1. Straight up Hardhat defense. 1 out, nobody on. Scoreless top of the first. And another fastball. Rabine thought about it. Did not swing, but it's called a strike. And he's down in the count 0-2. Anderson ready, and the 0-2 now to Rabine. Ooh, just missed the outside edge. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's where Solano wanted that ball outside edge. Didn't get the call. Solano sets up there once again, the 1-2. Just misses a touch low. Maybe outside as well. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anderson working quickly, kicks and deals the 2-2. Strike 3 called, and Rabine goes down looking for out number 2. Back-to-back backwards Ks. Start off both 17 in game number 2. Here's the first baseman, Brayton Zog. 2 outs, nobody on. A drastically different start for both 17. And what they started with in game 1. Zog swings through a first pitch fastball, 0-1. Zog a shoulder width stance on the right side. Gray batting gloves to match his gray uniform. The 0-1 called strike 2. Caught the breaking ball on the inside edge. And an 0-2 count on Brayton Zog. Rests the bat on his right shoulder, pops it up as Anderson comes set. Here's the 0-2. Just missed the outside edge. Maybe a touch low as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Anderson kicks and deals the 1-2. Breaking ball, just missed low. 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. Nobody on base for Watertown. The 2-2 swung on and missed, and Wyatt Anderson strikes out the side. 2 backwards, 1 swinging, and that ends the top of the first for Watertown. Hardhats to the bats for the first time here in game 2, right after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
From post 17, Black Hills Surgical Hospital, Ontario, comprehensive care from the Black Hills Surgical Hospital, the number 1 hospital in the state, and one of the top 10 hospitals in the nation for quality surgical care. New on for post 22, Zeke Farley and Martin Saylor and Riker Kenny.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales service and side-by-sides. Bottom of inning number 1, and Kyle Karst takes the mound for Watertown post 17. To face the Hardhats lineup, that looks like this. Zeke Farley leads things off. He's the center fielder. Amarian Saylor, the second baseman, bats second. Riker Henny, the designated hitter, bats third. Alex Dietrich in the 4 spot at first base. Harrison Good in the 5 spot in right field. Peyton Tipton, the third baseman, bats sixth. The catcher, Jake Solano, 7th. Jed Jensen, the left fielder, 8th. And Wilson Kiefer, the shortstop, bats 9th. And they face Kyle Karst, making his second start and appearance on the season. 6 innings and 0-1 record. 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned run. 6 strikeouts and 3 walks in that 1 appearance. He did hit 1 batter as well. Batters hitting .261 against Karst over that 1 appearance. Zeke Farley steps in on the right side. Karst winds and deals and misses down and away. Ball 1 on Farley. Wyatt Anderson struck out the side in the opening half inning. And Farley lines one to center field. It hangs up and into the glove of Ryan Roby. And Farley is retired on the fly out to center. Now Marion Saylor, second baseman for the Hardhats. Left fielder in game one. A couple of RBIs in game one as Saylor looks at a first pitch breaking ball from Karst. Got the outside corner 0-1. Karst slightly towards the first base side of the rubber, winds and deals, and a breaking ball called strike two, right across the belt. No balls and 2 strikes on Saylor now. Trying to figure out Kyle Karst. Here's the 0-2, breaking ball, dribbler to third on a hard hop. Rabine fires across in time to get the speedy Amarian Saylor. 5-3 in the book is out number 2 for the Hardhats. Now Riker Henny. The designated hitter, Riker Henny. And a couple of RBIs in game one. 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch to Henny. Called strike one, outside edge. No balls and a strike. Karst, a nod of the head into the wind. Kicks and deals. The 0-1, called strike two. Hit in the same exact spot, this time with a breaking ball. No balls and 2 strikes on Henny. Out of the head, and Karst winds, kicks, fires, and Henny. A high drive to left center field. On the run, Rodden, and it's the center fielder who can't make the play. Actually, he did make the play. Ryan Roby made that play, and that's out number 3. Kind of tough to see in that left center field alley. Anyway, the Hardhats go down in order in their half of the first. After 1, it's 0-0, and we'll return for the second inning right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are your community. We are your neighbors. Our family of doctors are invested in our community. At Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, we are honored to help you along the journey from injury to recovery. You have a choice with Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you.
Welcome back as the first pitch to Ben Altoff is a high fastball swung on and missed out of the hand of Wyatt Anderson. Scoreless after 1. We welcome you back into the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales service and side-by-sides. Altoff swings through the 0-1 and to go down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes against Anderson. Leadoff man here in the second. Anderson struck out the side in the first. 0-2, misses outside with a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Altoff coming into play here today, a 2.11 average. A breaking ball called strike 3 and 4 straight strikeouts for Wyatt Anderson. 3 of the looking variety. Just hung a breaking ball on the inside edge. And that's strikeout number 4 and out number 1 in the second. Now Jared Cyrus. Tap to the plate on the right side. Anderson looks into Solano. Solano sets up down and in. And Cyrus just got a piece of the first pitch fastball. Still down in the count 0-1. No balls and a strike. Anderson to Solano, comes set, the 0-1, breaking ball, called strike 2. Boy, Anderson working quickly and able to hit the zone well. And time is asked for at the plate before Anderson can throw his next pitch. Comes set once again. Here's the 0-2. Strike 3, called another one. Backwards K in the book. 5th strikeout in as many batters for Wyatt Anderson to start off this ball game. And now Caleb Nygaard. Nygaard steps in on the right side. Anderson kicks and deals. It's a called strike 1 right across the knees. 0-1. Fastball from Anderson. Where does he go on the 0-1? 2 outs, nobody on for Watertown. Here's the 0-1. Called strike 2, inside edge. No balls, 2 strikes to count. Back-to-back fastballs from Anderson. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball, laid off by Nygaard and missed downstairs. The Hardhats dugout was ready to erupt with that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Anderson set at his right ear, the 1-2. Swung on and missed, and another strikeout for Wyatt Anderson. Strikes out the side once again. 6 up, 6 down via the strikeout. And we head to the bottom of the second. Back in a moment, right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
No score. Already back here tomorrow, doubleheader. 11:30 and 2. 17 back in the house. Tomorrow, 5:00 for Walmart. So I think the 2022 sponsors, Keeper Family Dental, also looking for other pizza.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. 6 up, 6 down, all via the strikeout for Wyatt Anderson as he completes 2 innings and has only thrown 25 pitches. Hardhats to the bats in the bottom half of the second, now scoreless. And the first pitch, line drive, base hit by Alex Dietrich. First hit, first base runner of the ball game for either club. And Dietrich jumps all over the very first pitch. Now Harrison Good. Right-handed bat. Dietrich aboard first. Kyle Karst back to the mound. He toes the rubber on the right side and misses high with a fastball for ball 1. Karst looks in for the sign, kind of offset off the rubber. Comes set with his front foot in front of his back and then This time a higher leg kick, kind of twisted his body, Johnny Cueto-like as well, and missed downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. The first one was no leg kick, kind of just a sidestep to limit the run game. A long stare down between Karst and Dietrich, and Harrison Good calls time. Karst given the play ball signal once again. He stares down Dietrich at first, comes set. The 2-0 to Harrison Good is a fly ball down the left field line into the glove of Trevin Rodden on the run. And that's out number 1. Good contact by Harrison Good. Just unable to lay it down for a hit. Give some word advice to Peyton Tipton on what he saw at the plate against Karst. And now Tipton steps in on the right side. Rests the bat on his right shoulder, pops it up. The catcher sets up, down and in. And the first pitch between the wickets of the catcher, Mutchler, and up to second goes Dietrich. Pass ball, the call from our PA announcer. Looked like it hit his glove and then went between his legs, so I would have to agree with that. Dietrich, big lead at second. The 1-0, breaking ball, skips away from Mutchler once again, and Dietrich up to third. This time a wild pitch. And Mutchler wants a conversation with Kyle Karst. Walks all the way back to the hill with Karst. Gives him a tap on the back. 2 balls, no strikes. The count on Peyton Tipton. Dietrich aboard third after a single, a pass ball, and a wild pitch. The 2-0. Misses down and away. 3 balls and no strikes on Peyton Tipton. Third baseman has Jake Solano on deck. With 1 out, the 3-0 misses high, ball 4. Tipton draws a 4-pitch walk. But runners on the corners, and that brings up the aforementioned catcher, and Jake Solano.
Number 11, Jake Solano.
Solano gathers some signs from Coach Torvey down the third base line. Tipton at first, Dietrich at third. Karst stares down Tipton, comes set, kicks and deals. The first pitch to Solano, popped back out of play, foul. No balls and a strike on Solano. Karst comes set once again, and the 0-1 sidestep, and Solano has to bend out of the way of that one as it misses high and tight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners on the corners with 1 gone, scoreless. Bottom of the second, Hardhats trying to get on the board first. Karst likes the sign, comes set. Kicks and deals. Tipton takes off. The pitch is low, and there will be no throw as Tipton swipes second. A straight steal. The breaking ball missed in the turf. So 2 ducks on the pond for Solano now, both in scoring position. Now the 2-1. Breaking ball popped up. Right side. Foul territory and off the top of the Watertown dugout. And Coach Neal had to get out of the way of that one. Looked like there was room for a second, but it hit off the top of the dugout and then bounced back into play. So even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jake Solano. Shorterwood stands with the 2 strikes. Infield in for Watertown. Here's the 2-2. Down and away, blocked by Muchler. And now 3-2. The Hardhats catcher. 2 taps of the plate on the right side. Waves the bat a couple of times. Muchler sets up down and away. Here's the payoff. It's a bouncer left side through the gap and into left field. A run comes in to score. Here comes another runner right behind him. The throw comes in. It's caught in front of the plate. Solano slides into second. It's a 2-run single for Jake Solano. And the Hardhats take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the second.
The batter, number 18, Jed Jensen.
By Peyton Tipton had to be on his horse, left on contact. And Muchler catching that ball in front of the plate, but Solano on his horse to take second base. The bouncer to short, bobbled by the shortstop, and Jensen will beat it out. So Jed Jensen reaches on the error. Up to third goes Solano. It's an E6. And now Wilson Kiefer, runners on the corner, still 1 out. Muchler relays signs in front of the plate. Stare down by Karst. Comes set, sidesteps and deals, and Kiefer watches strike 1 be called. A fastball outside corner, 0-1. Jensen takes his lead at first, about a 1.5 step lead. Gains another 1/2 step, takes off for second. The pitch is a breaking ball in front of the plate, blocked by Muchler, and Jensen swipes second. No chance at a throw for Carson Muchler. 2 men in scoring position once again for the Hardhats. This time with Kiefer at the plate. Here's the 1-1. Strike 2 called inside edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Infield in once again for Watertown. Here's the 1-2. Skipped in front of the plate. Muchler had to hit his chest. And now 2-2. Like Carl Karst has not had his curveball working. Most of them have bounced in front of the plate. Just spiked them. Here's another curveball, and this one misses a touch high. Karst wanted to walk off the mound with that one. Grown from the Watertown coaches with that one. Payoff pitch coming. Karst to Kiefer. Here it is, a 3-2. Strike 3 called inside edge, and down goes Kiefer looking for out number 2. First strikeout for Kyle Karst. Here's Zeke Farley. Infield back to normal depth with the 2 outs. 2-0 Hardhats, and Farley looks at ball 1, a breaking ball, and puts up the stop sign as Muchler kept it in front of him. Karst set. A 1-0, bouncer right side off the glove of Nygaard, and it rolls up into center field. 2 runs come in to score, and just like that, it's 4-0 Hardhats. And E4 that looked like it could end the inning. Both of those runs come unearned. Couple more runs batted in for Zeke Farley. Takes off for second. The curveball is high, and Farley swipes another base. Marion Saylor, the new batter. 4-0 Hardhats here in the second, and Saylor hooks that ball too high. Saylor bounced to third in his first trip. Look at second, double takes, kicks and deals. Farley takes off for third. It's bounced in front of the plate, and Farley swipes third standing up.
Farley steals third base.
It's a 3-0 count on Amarian Saylor. 4-0 Hardhats on just 2 hits. 2 errors defensively for Watertown, and Saylor looks that ball 4 outside. A 4-pitch walk drawn by Saylor. And Riker Henny will be the 9th man sent to the plate this inning. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. We take a look at how many pitches Karst has thrown. It's called strike 1 on Riker Henny. That was pitch number 36. 18 strikes. The runner takes off and misses outside. Saylor dives in head first into second base, and Saylor has another stolen base. One ball, 1 strike the count. Karst taking a moment to himself. Now comes set. The 1-1 to Henny. Breaking ball laid back on, and it's a fly ball to left field, and Rodden is there to make the grab for out number 3. But the Hardhats strike first. 4 runs in the second inning. They send all 9 men to the plate, and they take a 4-0 lead heading into the third. Back in a moment right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales service and side-by-sides. The first pitch from Wyatt Anderson to Carson Mutchler. Called ball 1, and Mutchler fouls one off the screen. Even count now, 1 ball and 1 strike. 4-0 the lead on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. The lead for the Hardhats over post 17. As Mutchler, a big swing and a miss on the 1-1. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Anderson likes the sign from Solano. The 1-2 to Mutchler, misses high and tight. Even count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anderson has sat for a little bit after his team put up 4 runs to help his efforts. The 2-2 swung on and missed. That's another strikeout for Wyatt Anderson. Mutchler goes down swinging. 7 batters, 7 strikeouts. Here's Will Engstrom. The shortstop taps the plate on the right side. 1 out, nobody on. First pitch from Anderson, a fastball misses high. Right at the eyeballs of Engstrom. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0. Line drive right at Amarian Saylor. Short hop, he picks it and fires the first in time for out number 2. And the first batter to put a ball in play against Wyatt Anderson is the 8th batter of the lineup. 7 strikeouts over 8 batters. Nice play by Amarian Saylor at second. Here's Trevin Rodden. First pitch swung on and missed, 0-1. Fastball right across the belt. Anderson likes the sign once again. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped in the glove of Solano. 0-2. That one a little higher up in the zone. Anderson set and the 0-2. Breaking ball right past Anderson on the mound. Saylor has a play. He fires the first in time. Out number 3. Wyatt Anderson, 7 strikeouts through 3 innings. And we head to the bottom of the 3rd. 4-0 Hardhats. Back in a moment on Hardhats TV and 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch to Alex Dietrich is ball 1 up in the zone. A breaking ball from Kyle Karst. Dietrich led off the 2nd inning. The Hardhats sent 9 men to the plate, so he leads off the bottom of the 3rd and fouls away the 1-0 pitch. Right side out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Dietrich ambushed Karst. Very first pitch. Took it right back up the middle into center field. The 1-1 breaking ball called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count on the Hardhats first baseman. Karst winds, kicks, deals. And Dietrich down to a knee, pops it up right side, foul territory, and it's the first baseman, Brayton Zog, who ended up making the grab. So a pop out in foul territory for out number 1. Here's Harrison Good. He flied to left his first trip. Karst winds, kicks, deals, and misses high with a fastball. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Another wind for Karst. The 1-0 breaking ball missed high. Had a little late break on that one. 2 balls and no strikes. Another wind. And he deals, and Harrison good turns and burns as that one is roped into the left field corner. Good, rounds first, Zedix for second, and he will hold up there with a 1-out double.
The third baseman, number 42.
Now Peyton Tipton. Tipton walked and scored in the second inning. The second of 4 runs to come across for the Hardhats. And Tipton ropes one into the left field corner, but that one's foul. And one bounces over the wall into the Hardhats bullpen. Boy, we saw one ball like that go out last season for Peyton. It's what you call turn and burn. Just out in front. The 0-1, a fly ball to center field. A couple of steps back, Ryan Roby underneath of it makes the grab. Good, tags and goes to third. He dives in safely. That's out number 2.
Now batting number 11, Jake Solano.
And now Jake Solano. Solano bats from the right side, a single in the second inning, a 2-run single at that with the infield playing in. Karst works from the wind, and Solano pops to one right field. A long ways to run for the right fielder, and it's caught by the right fielder, Jared Cyrus, to end the third inning for the Hardhats. So one hit, and it's stranded at second base for the Hardhats, and they lead 4-0 as we head to inning number 4. Back in a moment on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
Thanks to our sponsors, Builders First Source, Pasta, Black Hills Tire, Western Dakota Insurers, All Pro Insulation. Thanks for sponsoring Post 22 baseball this season.
Welcome back into the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales service and side-by-sides. The Hardhats with a 4-0 lead on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. The 4-0 lead over Watertown post 17. Wyatt Anderson back to the mound, and through 3 innings, 7 strikeouts, and I don't care what level you're talking about. That's impressive at any level of baseball. And a first pitch strike called right at the knees, outside edge on the top of the post 17 lineup, Brian Roby. Anderson struck out the first 7 in a row. 0-1, chopper up the third base line, foul. And Coach Ryan Neal having some fun over there, trying to field his position in the third base coaching box. Has a laugh with the Hardhats down there. The 0-2 from Anderson. Swung on and missed. And Solano fires down to first. A high throw and it over through him. Sails into right field, so it's a strikeout. And throwing error on Solano.
The batter number 7, Marcus Raymond.
So it's the 8th strikeout of the ball game for Wyatt Anderson. And an E2 to go along with it. Now Marcus Rabine. And Anderson misses down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. That's the first base runner of the ball game for Watertown. The 1-0 misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes to count on the left-handed hitting Rabine. Runner on first, nobody out. And strike 1 caught on the outside edge. Two balls and a strike on Rabine. Anderson looks in, the pace slowing down with the runner on first. He's ready, sidesteps and deals. The 2-1 swung on and missed on the fastball. Even count now, 2-2. Anderson set once again. Solano sets up outside. Strike 3, called at the knees. And down goes Marcus Rabine looking for the second time. That's strikeout number 8 for Wyatt Anderson. Now Braden Zog. Runner on first, 1 gone. Hardhats and double play depth. First pitch, hard hit ball, hooking into the left field corner, down for a base hit. Roby rounds third, he will come in to score. And just like that, it's 4-1 on an RBI double off the bat of Braden Zog. So the no-hitter is no more. First hit of the ball game against Wyatt Anderson, and it's a big one. 4-1 our score. Here's Ben Althoff. Roby scored all the way from first base. Plenty of speed from the center fielder, showed off. Here's Althoff, and he lines one over the leaping glove of Wilson Kiefer into left field. Here comes Zog to the plate. He will score as the throw comes in, missed the cutoff man, and up to second goes Althoff. It's an RBI single, goes to second on the throw, and Watertown has cut the deficit in half. It's 4-2. Now Jared Cyrus. And before Cyrus steps in, slight delay by the Watertown dugout. Anderson giving the play ball signal. Here's the first pitch to Cyrus, and he hits with the fastball outside edge, 0-1. Runner on second, 1 out. 4-2 now our score. The 0-1 outside, crossbody pick by Solano. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Anderson likes the sign, kicks and deals and misses in the turf. A big secondary lead from Althoff, but he stays put as Solano blocked it in front of him. Pops the bat off his right shoulder. Cyrus struck out his first trip. And Althoff dances around at second. Anderson steps off. Momentum is a crazy thing in this game called baseball. And the 2-1 swung on and missed. Even count, 2-2. Seems like when a rally is started, it's hard to cut off that rally. Anderson ready. The 2-2. Chopped foul. And a nice play by Hardhat in the dugout. Cyrus was way out in front of that one. Just got the bat head to the ball. Set once again, a peek at second. Here's the 2-2. Fastball, and it hit him. Clipped the elbow guard of Jared Cyrus. And that puts runners on first and second. Now Caleb Nygaard. Nygaard struck out his first trip. Steps back in on the right side, 0 for 1. 2 on, 1 gone. First pitch to Nygaard, a big swing and a miss. 0-1. Tap to the plate on the right side. Solano gathers the sign from the dugout, relays the sign to Anderson, and another swing and a miss. 0-2 on Caleb Nygaard. The 2-strike pitch and a pickoff move over to first. Back in time is Cyrus. Dietrich crashing behind the runner. Anderson shakes off the sign before the 0-2, and now Nygaard asks for time. Oh-2 on Nygaard. Anderson set once again. Here's the 0-2. Blocked in front of the plate by Solano. Nice play by the catcher. Ball and 2 strikes. Anderson likes the sign. A peek at second, the 1-2. Misses downstairs, 2-2. Now Coach Dorvey pacing in front of the Hardhats dugout. Might be thinking about getting someone down to the bullpen. The 2-2. Swung on and missed, and down goes Caleb Nygaard swinging for out number 2. So it's the 10th strikeout of the ball game for Wyatt Anderson. Approaching 60 pitches now. Carson Muchler, the new batter. First pitch to Muchler, a half swing. Did he go around? The appeal. Appeal and no swings, says our field umpire. Looked like Muchler just kind of half swung to protect himself, but he did not go around. The 1-0, bouncer right side, and has a nasty spin on it. Dietrich fields and takes it to the first base bag himself, though, and that's out number 3. So Watertown cuts the deficit in half. It's 4-2 in favor of Rapid City. We head to the bottom of inning number 4 right after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
As we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, Leading off will be Jensen, also Wilson.
Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore has provided a full range of legal services for over 40 years in Rapid City. As one of the largest and highly respected law firms in western South Dakota and multi-state region, our expert team of diversified attorneys offer a very personalized style of legal representation. Whether it's support and recommendations with legal documents or the strongest proponent in a court of law, trusting who you hire as your advocate is vital in achieving the best results. Contact the experienced professionals today at Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore Attorneys at Law.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Sales service and side-by-sides. Bottom of inning number 4. 4-2 our score. Hardhats and Watertown. That score on the State Farm scoreboard insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Kyle Karst back to the mound for Watertown. Throwing one last warm-up pitch and the throw down by Muchler.
Your attention, please, now batting.
8, 9, and 1 due up for the Hardhats. That's Judd Jensen, Wilson Kiefer, and Zeke Farley. No one sent down to the bullpen area just yet for the Hardhats. Karst winds, kicks, deals, and Jensen swings through a first pitch breaking ball. 0-1. And no one warming in the bullpen for Watertown either. The 0-1, strike 2, call on a fastball that time, right below the belt. No balls and 2 strikes to count on Jensen. Karst into the windup, and the 0-2 breaking ball missed in the turf. 1-2. Now the 1-2. Little flare right side and off the netting right by the Watertown coaches. Still 1-2 count into the wind. Karst goes. And Jensen takes one into center field. That drops down for a base hit. Judd Jensen is into the hit column. He's on base for the second time. This time a leadoff single to start the 4th. Now Wilson Kiefer struck out looking against Karst his first trip. Karst from the stretch. A peek at Jensen. Kiefer drops down a bunt, but it's foul. Tried to push it up the first base line. Dropped it foul. No balls and a strike. We'll see if the bunt signal is on for Kiefer once again. Jensen has plenty of speed. A nice athlete at first. And a pickoff move over to first. Jensen dives back in. Kind of a wild throw from Karst. And awake at the wheel, Braden Zog pulled off the bag. And another move over to first, this time a little bit more accurate, but Judd back in safely again. 0-1 the count on Kiefer. Karst set. And Kiefer squares the bunt, pulls back, and watches ball 1 be called low. Breaking ball that time. More signs relayed by Coach Torvey. Runner on first, nobody out. And Kiefer swings away. It's a slow chopper up the third base line and rolls foul. And good awareness by Marcus Rabine to let that one roll foul. Kind of a swinging bunt, but plenty of spin on it on the turf. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count on Kiefer. Runner takes off for second to throw down. It's high and into center field. Jensen is in safely, and it looked like the second baseman, Nygaard, kind of landed on the back of Jed Jensen. He looks to be all right. Coach Torvey was ready to walk out there and make sure Jed was okay, but thumbs up given over to Coach Torvey. Stolen base for Jed Jensen. Here's the 2-2 from Karst to Kiefer, and a breaking ball misses high. Now 3-2. Payoff pitch coming. Kyle Karst to Wilson Kiefer. Here it is. The payoff pitch misses low. Ball 4. Wilson Kiefer draws a walk. He's on base for the first time. And that flips the lineup card over for Zeke Farley. Top of the Hardhats lineup. And nobody out. Big opportunity for the Hardhats. And they're at the 4th. Farley trying to get in the hit column for game 2. He reached on an error and flied out. Pops up a bunt down the first base line, and it bounces foul. Hardhats trying to push it up the first base line, and now Coach Torvey walking to have a word with Farley. And Coach Neal talking to his infield. No balls and a strike, the count. 2 on, nobody out. Corners in for Watertown. A big gap on the left side, pull side for Farley. Karst set. The 0-1. Breaking ball called strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Farley now shorter with stance with the 2 strikes. And the 2-strike pitch from Karst. A breaking ball left side. Backhanded by the shortstop, but he will have no play. Farley with plenty of speed. And it will load up the bases. Everybody safe. Nice play by Engstrom just to get over and cut that ball off. It looked like it had a date with left field written all over it, but slow enough for Engstrom to cut it off. Infield brought in now for Amari and Saylor. Now corners back up into double play depth, and Saylor lines one into center field. That drops down for a base hit. 1 run comes in to score, a 2nd run right behind him, and he comes in to score. It's a 2-run single for Amari and Saylor. Jensen and Kiefer both cross the plate. And it's 6-2 Hardhats.
Now batting number 25, Riker Henny.
Now Riker Henny, 2 on, nobody out. And home plate umpire signaling to cut the music. Walk-up song carrying on a little bit too long, maybe. Farley at second, Saylor at first, and Henny pops the first pitch foul right side and out of play. 6-2 our score. Henny, a pair of fly outs to left. A 1, down and away. Even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Plenty of speed on the base paths, to say the least. Both runners, Farley and Saylor, have stolen at least 1 base in this ball game. Farley has 2. Line drive into left field, base hit in front of the left fielder, Rodden. Farley held up at third. Everyone moves up 90 feet. It's a single for Riker Henney. This time, a little bit more of a line drive for Henney. We've seen Henney go to the opposite field, strictly a pull hitter here in game 2. Here's Alex Dietrich, bases loaded, nobody out, 6-2, Hardhats, corners brought in, and first pitch breaking ball down and away, ball 1. Karst into the wind, the 1-0, a flare down the right field line, out of play. Even count now, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Karst up over 65 pitches. This will be pitch number 68. The 1-1 misses high with a fastball. 2 balls and a strike. Another wind and the 2-1. Bouncer right back up the middle, fielded by the shortstop to second for 1, over to first, and bobbled on the back end. Another run comes in to score. A run would have scored either way, but it's a fielder's choice to allow Dietrich to reach. Henney out at second. Farley scores. So Saylor at third. Dietrich at first. Here's Harrison Good. A double rope down the left field line his last trip. 1 out, 7-2 Hardhats. First pitch misses high, ball 1. One for 2 day for Harrison Good here in game 2. Runs matching the hits in both rows on the scoreboard, and Good has to turn out of a up and in fastball. It's just ball 2. Lights in full effect on a gorgeous night here in Rapid City. The 2-0, high and tight. 3 balls, no strikes, and the catcher, Mutchler, asks for a new baseball. Runners on the corners, 1 out. The 3-0 to Harrison Good, misses down and away, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Harrison Good. That loads up the bases. It'll bring up Peyton Tipton.
The batter, number 22, Peyton Tipton.
Tipton is 0 for 1, walked and scored in the second inning. Here comes Coach Neal out of the Watertown dugout. A reliever is warming in the bullpen for Watertown. Coach Neal talking with Mutchler and Karst. 5-run deficit so far for Watertown. The Hardhats threatening for more with 1 out and the bases full. This is the 8th man sent to the plate this inning. And now our home plate umpire will come out and break up the mound visit. Just trying to waste a little time and let the reliever get warm. Coach Neal in good spirits. Smile across his face as he comes back to the dugout. Had a quick conversation. Oh, There's a ball game to be played with our home plate umpire before walking back to the dugout. First pitch to Tipton, missed down and away, ball 1. Breaking ball from Karst. Hardhats trying to improve back to 500 as Tipton looks at strike 1, lower outside edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. Watertown in double play depth. First baseman Zog playing in front of the base runner, and strike 2 called on Tipton. As Muchler thought about firing down to third on a backpick play. And Karst steps off, wipes his brow before the 1-2. Tipton back in on the right side, tap of the plate, waves the bat, and on the 1-2. Wave and a miss by Tipton. He goes down swinging out number 2. Breaking ball just pulled the string on it. Bases loaded for Jake Solano, 2 gone. Solano, a 2-run single and a run scored in the second. Fly to right his last trip. Karst into the line, and the first pitch in the turf, blocked by Muchler. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Saylor at third, Dietrich at second, good aboard first. The wind and the 1-0. Breaking ball, strike called outside corner. Open stance on the right side for Solano, the 1-1. This is down and in. 2-1 now. Expos and the Post 17 Junior Legion played 2 games earlier today. As Karst misses down and away with a breaking ball. 3 balls and a strike on Solano, nowhere to put him. Jed Jensen on deck. And the 3-1. High and tight. Solano records an RBI, draws a walk. Saylor comes across the score. And Jed Jensen had to run up the first baseline and get his elbow protector from first base coach Ewing. Second trip to the plate this inning for Jed Jensen. Hardhats have officially batted around. And the first pitch, a high fly ball, deep right center field on the run, Roby. And he can't make the play. 3 runs will come in to score. It's a bases clearing double for Jed Jensen. And the Hardhats extend their advantage. 3 runs on that play. It's 11-2. Now Wilson Kiefer steps in on the right side, and that'll be the end of the day for Kyle Karst. Coach Neal out of the dugout, no signal just yet. But a pat on the back, and he'll take the ball from Karst. We'll take a quick step aside and come right back for the rest of the 5th. Hardhats with an 11-2 lead. New arm coming in for Post 17 right after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
The pitcher for Post 17 is number 16, Chase Christensen. And get your 50-50 ticket out. Tonight's winner will take on $179.50. It's a white ticket. Here is the winning number, 019913.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. The new arm on the mound for post 17, Chase Christensen. In relief of Kyle Karst, went as long as he could and exits this ball game after 2 outs in the 4th inning, so 3 2/3. And still responsible for Jed Jensen aboard second base. Number 16 on Christensen's back. And he's ready. So Christensen, this is his 3rd appearance on the season, a 1-0 record, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 strikeouts, no walks, no hit batters. 3.50 ERA. First pitch breaking ball missed in front of the plate. Ball 1. Jensen aboard second, 2 gone. Here's Wilson Kiefer. 1-0 the count. Opponent's hitting 400 off of Christensen. The right-hander takes a peek at second, sidesteps and deals. And this one's looped down and into the left field corner. And a foul ball. About 2 feet foul past the third base bag. 1 ball, 1 strike the count on Kiefer. He walked and scored already in this 4th inning. Struck out his lone plate appearance before that in the 2nd. The 0-1 missed off the plate and blocked by Muchler. Breaking ball that time. 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs. Jensen still aboard second base. His bases clearing double. 2-1. Downstairs. 3 balls and a strike, and Christensen trying to find the zone now against Kiefer. First base is open. Here's the 3-1. Line drive foul. Three and 2 now. Kyle Karst threw 82 pitches in his outing. Payoff pitch, skips in front of the play. Kiefer jogs up the first base line with another walk.
The batter number 20, Zeke Farley.
And now Zeke Farley. Hardhats have crossed the plate 7 times this inning. Top of the order now, Zeke Farley. A single and a run scored his last trip. And breaking ball misses away, up and away. And this one skips almost into left field as up to third goes Jensen. Ball in the turf. Tap of the plate on the right side. 11-2 our score here in the bottom of the 4th. 1-0, runs inside and hits it. So Farley will trot his way down to first. And that loads up the bases once again.
Number 44, Marty Saylor.
Here's Amarian Saylor. Coach Neal back out of the dugout and has a word with Christensen now. Muchler stays put behind the plate. Just talking with his right-hander. It's a reset of this ball game. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for Watertown, all 2s. For the Hardhats, 11 runs, 8 hits, 1 error defensively on their line. Coach Neal back to the side of the Watertown dugout. Bases full of Hardhats. Amarian Saylor at the plate. And the first pitch from Christensen is blocked in the turf by Muchler. 1 ball, no strikes. Amarian Saylor, an RBI single. His last trip in this inning. And the 1-0 foul back to the net. Even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Walk before that in the second and bounce to third. His first trip. Straight up stance on the right side and bends out of the way of the 1-1. 2 balls and a strike on Saylor. Bounces the bat off his right shoulder. White sleeve to go along with his white batting gloves. And Saylor looks at ball 3, low and in. Nowhere to put him. Bases full of blue with throwback Hardhats jerseys. 3 balls and a strike to count. The 3-1. Down and away, ball 4. Saylor draws a bases loaded walk. And that scores the 12th run for the Hardhats here in game 2. Now Riker Henny. So Jensen comes in to score. Lots of high fives for him after his 3-run triple, or 3-run double rather. And Henny goes after the first pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Kiefer to third, Farley to second, Saylor aboard first. 0-1 the count. Christensen works out of the windup, and Henny pops it up shallow left field. A long run for all fielders, and it drops in no man's land. Down for a base hit. 2 runs come in to score. It's a 2-run single for Riker Henny. And the bleeding continues. Farley and Kiefer both come across the plate. It's 14-2 Hardhats. Here's Alex Dietrich. Runners on the corners, 2 gone. And Dietrich looks at ball 1 inside. So post 17 will have 8, 9, and 1. Trying to extend this ball game whenever we reach the top of the 5th. And Dietrich looks at ball 2 down and away. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Henny at first, Saylor at third. Dietrich reached on the fielder's choice and came in to score. Earlier on in this inning, 3 balls and no strikes to count now as Dietrich looked at ball 3 inside. Christensen struggling to find the zone. Here's a 3-0. Downstairs in front of the plate off of the catcher, and Saylor comes in to touch the plate standing up. That's the 15th run to touch the plate.
The batter number 14, Harrison Good.
So Henny up to second base, Dietrich aboard first. Harrison Good, the new batter. And good, a fly ball to center field. Ryan Roby a few steps back. He's in his tracks and now makes the grab for out number 3. And finally, the Hardhats inning is over. 11 runs touched the plate in the bottom of the 4th. Watertown has 3 outs to try and extend this ball game, trailing 15-2. Back in a moment right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. 15-2, the Hardhats lead, and they really broke things open in their half of the 4th. 11 runs crossed the plate in the 4th inning. Now Wyatt Anderson back to the bump for the Hardhats, and he misses high and tight for ball 1. Watertown needs 4 runs to try and extend this ball game. The 1-0 is a fly ball to left field, center field actually, and Zeke Farley has it drop into his glove for out number 1. Will Engstrom goes down with the fly out, and now a pinch hitter coming to the plate. It will be Thatcher Roth. Roth bats from the left side, no batting gloves, an open stance facing Anderson. And time is asked for. A little bit of confusion. And the first pitch to Roth misses up and away, ball 1. Wyatt Anderson with 10 strikeouts so far. The 1-0 misses up and away once again with the fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Anderson likes the sign from Solano, and now the 2-0. Foul back to the screen, 2-1. Capital blade on the left side. 2-1, misses up and away, ball 3. So 3 balls and a strike now. Anderson to Thatcher Roth. The 3-1 misses inside, and Roth draws a walk.
The pinch hitter, number 22, Brian.
1 out walk at that. And now I believe it's the pitcher batting, Christensen. Nope, it's Ryan Roby. 0-1, misses outside and back to the backstop. Roth down to second. One ball and one strike to count. Roby has struck out twice, reached base though on a throwing error. Breaking ball misses outside, and now Solano wants to have a word with Anderson. Looked like a cross-up of the signs. Tap on the back. And they know what they're in now. 2 balls and a strike. Anderson to Roby. Two, 1. Strike 2 called right below the letters. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Roth aboard second. The 2-2. Up and away, 3-2. So Anderson approaching 70 pitches, and that was number 70 rather. Here's a payoff. Strike 3 called right across the knees. And Roby goes down looking. 3 strikeouts next to his name in the book. That's out number 2 and strikeout number 11 for Wyatt Anderson. Here's Marcus Rabine, and Rabine fouls it back to the screen. First pitch fastball up in the zone. No balls and a strike to count. Roth aboard second, and 2 gone. The 0-1, swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes on Rabine. Anderson looking to finish off this ball game with a big 13-run advantage, and Anderson will just step off and look Roth back. Maybe a cross up of the signs. That time was Solano. The 0-1, swing and a miss, and down goes Rabine swinging, and that'll be the ball game. Wyatt Anderson, 12 strikeouts, and he has a complete game, 5 innings. And we'll dive right into the Pioneer Bank and Trust postgame show. Pioneer Bank and Trust is proud to support local sports, and they want to be your trusted partner for all your banking needs. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local. Visit pioneerbankandtrust.com. Hardhats, 15-2 winners here in Game 2. They improved to 500 on the season at 5-5. Post 17 fall to 3-5 with the loss in Game 2. Quick recap of the scoring. 4 runs in the second for Post 22, nothing in the third for either club. And then Post 17 cut the deficit in half in the top of the fourth and made it 4-2. But the Hardhats scored 11 runs in the bottom of the fourth and sent almost everyone to the plate twice in that inning, and scored 11 runs. So taking a 15-2 advantage, 13 runs the difference, and that's the ball game as Anderson finishes off a masterful performance on the mound. And that takes us to today's player of the game for Game 2, sponsored by Claiborne Lowe's and Sabres. Whether it's divorce, injury, or a business dispute, when you need someone to step up for you, the law office at Claiborne Lowe's and Sabres is always ready. Just Google Claiborne Lowe's and Sabres in Rapid City. Game 2's player of the game, well, you could give it to any one of the bats, but Wyatt Anderson is the Claiborne Lowe's and Sabres Game 2 player of the game. Boy, Anderson's line, 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned, 12 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Wyatt Anderson was dealing. He struck out the first 7 men he faced. Yeah, you heard that right, 7. And 4 out of those 7, actually 4 out of the 7 were backwards Ks, and the other of the swinging variety. So post 22 sweeps, the doubleheader here today. On the Hardhats and post 17 play 2 games tomorrow morning. And we'll see how those games turn out with Watertown tomorrow. That wraps things up here in Rapid City. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until tomorrow at about 11:15 a.m. My name is Adam Birch. Good night.